Well, it all comes down to this. All the marbles. Conor Shanahan versus Jack Shanahan. The spotters have taken their headsets off. The tools are down in the pits. No radio communication, just letting the two boys go out there and win it on the track. They've said, what we're going to do now is we're not going to communicate with anybody. We're just going to reverse into the wall a little bit for Jack Shanahan. He's not afraid of hitting any walls out there. And Jack and Conor are going to say, this is just for pride. They're happy that 1 and 2 are going to the Shanahans. But I'll tell you what, if we got to Poland at the end of the season, and one of these guys were in the championship fight, these little points between second and first will mean a whole lot then. So as Jack Shanahan said, brothers off the track, brothers behind the scenes, well, they're going to be enemies for the next 3 or 4 minutes on the track, because both have a point to prove of who is the higher ranked Shanahan. Conor's been taking the headlines of late. Jack hasn't found his groove, but this is the time to win an event and get back in the championship race. Conor Shanahan versus Jack Shanahan. The script is written, but the last sentence hasn't been. Who will win? This is incredible. What a sport. What a venue. What an amazing audience we've had all weekend. And now, brother v brother in the final. The few last gulps of air before he closes the door for Jack Shanahan. Conor Shanahan, the higher qualifier, first place qualifier, will lead them in. Marcin gives the word. The lights will go green. And here we are, brother versus brother for top step on the podium.
Through the gears they go. Shanahan versus Shanahan. Wow, and no messing around. Jack almost makes contact with Conor on the initiation. They're both up and into the wall. And Jack is all over the side of his brother's GT86, on the curb, on the door, on the wall. Does it make sense? They're not going to let it make sense as they fire through. Separation as Jack gives Conor the room to manoeuvre now. As Jack once again looks for a side of his brother's car and he batters him across the line.
Wow, unbelievable driving from both the Shanahans. There was at least 4 or 5 door hits in that run, and Jack Shanahan taking no prisoners as he goes to the door and pushes it in on Conor Shanahan across the line. It was a very tricky entry. Jack Shanahan was super close there, Ian.
Yeah, he almost made contact. It looked like he did make contact. The car kind of jumped up and down a little bit, but then look at this at this outside zone. You can barely squeeze the drone between these two guys. As he's on the handbrake, looks across, he says, I know the sight of that car alongside me. But this is phenomenal. Watch this as they transition, almost takes the back end off of the car. They go to the wall, and Jack says, I'm going to push him as hard and as fast as I can and see if we can really bang doors this weekend. But for me, it was the final outside zone when Jack literally planted his car on Conor's.
I mean, he's probably turned around and said, there you go, little brother. What you got?
What you got?
I started this game. You only followed me in. And that's, I mean, reminding him.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people out there needed a little reminding of how good Jack Shanahan was. This is where he went, look at that. Smashes into the door, pushes him across the line. And Conor Shanahan says, all right, okay. I get it. And then Jack says, I think you're going to have to push a little harder here, Conor. You're not going to have a walk over here. And then we've got one more, well, potentially one more run. The Shanahan team are like, please just let it be one more run. I don't know if we can go back and do a load more work to get these back out again. It's going to be Conor Shanahan in the chase position. Can he get as close as Jack was in his chase position? Last run of the event, potentially. And it's been one of those where we never know what's going to happen or who's going to take the win. Last run, Jack Shanahan in the lead, Conor Shanahan in the chase. Mono on mono, brother on brother, GT86 versus GT86.
Wow, look at Conor. He's not giving him an inch. He's not letting him move. He's going to barely let him breathe as he transitions through that inner zone. Down they come, and now Jack squeezes the accelerator, tries to separate him, but he can't. And Conor almost takes him out on the transition. He looks for the transition back, and Conor's closer than he was before. And now look at this as Conor repays the favour.
That's unbelievable driving. Unbelievable driving from the Shanahans, putting on a show for everybody in attendance, all you guys at home. This is why this sport is the fastest growing motorsport in the world, because of runs like that, from moments like that. Take a race that's 2 hours long, cram every exciting moment into 40 seconds, and that's what you just got. Absolute door-on-door tandem battles between two brothers who definitely don't want to take the loss today.
They certainly don't. Look at this. Break it down. How do you even break it down? This is inch perfect. Conor onto the door. No, you can look at, they're almost looking at each other in the eye through outside zone 2. Conor took a lot of risks there. These transitions were very, very, look at this, boom, through the smoke. Didn't even mess around. Oh, look at that again, bam, through the smoke. Jack on an absolute flyer, such a nice line, but Conor taking all the risks, and he gets closer there on outside zone 6 into outside zone 7 than Jack was, and Conor really does get up onto the door. It's almost a mirror image, run from run.
Well, the decisions have to come in from the judges for who's going to win this. Then we're going to open the floodgates, let the fans onto the track and head to the podium. We know Diogo Correa has taken third step for Portugal. We know Ireland are going to get first and second place, but in which order will it be? Jack Shanahan or Conor Shanahan to take the win? And the hug between the brothers says, you know what? It doesn't matter who wins because we put our best out there on the track. We went out swinging. We gave it absolutely everything. And here we are in the final in Finland. And Conor saying to him, I did this and I went in there and then you were there and I hit you. And he was like, I was there, Conor, I remember. So here we go. Who's going to take the win? Will it be Jack Shanahan? Will it be Conor Shanahan? Conor Shanahan gets the win at round 3 of the Drift Masters European Championship.